Hello all. So, just thought I would do a little update video and also give a little hot take on the World Eaters 10th edition index. If y'all can believe it, I actually just came from a trip traveling around to a little hobby shop called The Adventure Begins, because I could not believe it. They actually had an 8-bound box left. They actually had 2. But I only needed one more box of 8-bound in order to be able to field a full unit of the Exalted and a full unit of the regular 8-bound. And to be honest, I'm kind of a, I don't know what you call it. I guess I'm kind of a boomer when it comes to my World Eaters, and I prefer the Berserkers to the 8-bound. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the 8-bound. The 8-bound are badass, but there's just a charm of the original Berserkers that I feel like you just can't replace with the 8-bound. So I only wanted to really have enough 8-bound in order to field a full unit of the regular 8-bound and also a full unit of the Exalted 8-bound. At least as far as with the new index out, because those of you that previously played with World Eaters would probably know in our codex you could only field up to 6 regular 8-bound, and you could only field 3 Exalted 8-bound. Well, with the new index, you can field up to 6 Exalted 8-bound also. And one of my goals with my army is to be able to field at least one full either unit or one actual model of everything available to the World Eaters. So I'm talking about, you know, at least one of the each of all the demon engines and all that good stuff. So for example, these little dudes here, the Jakhals, I need to get another box of them eventually, so I can field a full 20 unit of Jakhals, and I think that's all I'll need with the Jakhals. I don't think I'll be spamming too many Jakhals, although I do love these models. Yeah, I don't necessarily feel the need to have 40 of them on the board, but a nice little block of 20 of them is going to be very juicy in my opinion. Can't wait to get these little dudes painted up. And so as you can see, what I'm doing right now is sticking them on their bases. I will probably base these eventually. I kind of like having my units done before I base them. I know it may not always be the, you know, best thing to put them on the base first and then put all the goodies on it. But I'm really just kind of wanting to get these peeps ready, these guys and girls together, and get them ready. And then I'll worry about basing them later. I'm kind of thinking about doing, because they kind of have that Mad Max aesthetic. I think I mentioned that last time. Mad Max-like aesthetic, which I love. I'm probably going to try to go like kind of either sort of like industrial looking base. Well, I'm going to make it dirty, very dirty, but I might give a hand at maybe doing some like barbed wire and stuff on them. We'll see. And of course, we got to have some skulls and some blood. You know, we got to have that stuff on there. So we'll take that from there. But as I mentioned earlier, I'm really kind of doing this video to just kind of a hot take on the World Eaters Index, and I am in absolute love. I'm glad my boy Karn finally got himself a little glow up. He is looking great. I think it's actually, you know, he's always had the Betrayer rule. And while the Betrayer rule is very fluffy, like the whole point of that rule is just the fluff that, you know, he's the Betrayer, of course, in his name, right? But it wasn't helpful at all. Obviously, like killing your own units is just not that helpful. But the idea in this one, in the new index, that he only does it whenever the fight phase passes, and he and his entourage of berserkers were not in combat, is when he betrays one of them or takes one of them out. It goes a lot more along with the fluff, with Scalathrax and everything, that the whole him betraying the Legion, however you want to put it, or betraying his warband in that first place, betraying the World Eaters, was that, they had this whole ceasefire thing with these Slaneshi, Chaos Marines, and he basically called them a bunch of, well, he took out on them. He didn't think that they had the testicular fortitude in order to stand up to the rest of the legions, and so that's when he started burning them down and stuff. So I feel like that's a lot more fluffy. I love what they did with the Hellbrute. I have an old Dark Vengeance Hellbrute, and I call him my chunky boy. And man, they gotta glow up. I love that thing where they can shoot or attack if they're shoot or attacked. So it's just awesome. I'm over the moon. Still kind of sad about the Blood Tithe thing, because I felt the Blood Tithe was actually a little more fluffy than the whole. Than this kind of, people joke, they call it Yahtzee, this corn Yahtzee that they have. But I think it's actually more powerful, if you want to talk about quote-unquote meta-wise or whatever. It's actually more powerful. But it's just the whole idea that your units die and their units die, and so you get more powerful and all that stuff. I love it. And of course there's the scout moves with the 8-bound and all that. Can't wait to give all that stuff a try. So I'm hoping that at some point within the next couple days, I'll be able to hook up with a crew at my little local game shop, or maybe some of my buds that I played with there for a minute, and try to get a bat rep in or two. And maybe I'll even share some pictures with that, or something. So that'd be interesting. Well, anyways, y'all, that's my quick little thoughts on that. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. I got these little these guys and girls on the base. Look at this guy, big chunky boy. And I'm gonna let y'all go at the 8-minute mark. Corn's holy number. Let's go. Have a good night.